Hi there, welcome back to 355 Code. Today I'm going to show you 3 ways to use our new Karel programming language, which is based off of JavaScript. And for those of you who are not familiar, Karel is basically a programming language which can simplify a lot of the code that you have to write and introduce new learners to basic concepts in JavaScript. So, as I said, there are 3 ways that you can use our Karel program. The first is on our IDE, which is code Sololearn. The second is by using our GitHub page, and the third is downloading the files to your computer and using them in your own code editor. So I'm going to be going through the 3 ways of doing it. And I'm going to start with the Sololearn option because it's the simplest. And that would be just to follow the link below for the Sololearn, and you'll get to a page that looks like this. And here you can see HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you don't need the HTML and CSS, you only need this JavaScript file. And if you run the code, then you'll see that the interface for the Karel is already set up. You can adjust the box size and the grid size based on what you want to create. And if you scroll down, you will see the instructions, and all of your code should be written below this line. You're welcome to take a look at the code behind the scenes, which really makes things happen. But in terms of what you should be focusing on as a learner is really just writing code after this line. And this Karel is the dog here, can do several things. I'm not going to go into detail of what Karel can do, but just to show you one example is Karel.move. Okay, and then if you run your code using this button up here on the upper right, you'll see Karel moves 1. Okay, and all of your code written under here will be executed in a similar way to JavaScript, and this can really help you introduce and learn new concepts in JavaScript. So the second way to use our Karel program is using our GitHub page, and this is online, so you can just follow the link below for the GitHub page and you'll be taken to a web page like this. And you can see that here there's nowhere to type the code. So in order to make Karel move, in this case, what we'll have to do is use our console. So in order to do that, you'll want to inspect the page. And then here on the right, you will see console. And then you can write your code over here. So that would be, let's say, Karel dot. And this actually gives you a bunch of the options of what Karel can do. But I recommend looking at the JavaScript code and seeing what we have instructed. So for example, if I write here move and then I press enter, then Karel will move 1. Okay, and if I type here Karel.move again, then you will see Karel moves another time. And if you want to refresh your code, you can just refresh the page. Okay, so that's the second way you can use our Karel program. And the third and last way is by downloading the starter code from GitHub. So in order to do that, you can click code and download zip, and then it'll download the file. You'll want to go into your download folder and unzip it. And then you can open it with your own code editor like I have done here, and you will have the HTML and the CSS, which you don't need, and you'll have the JavaScript file. And then you'll want to scroll down to the bottom, just like we did in the Sololearn IDE, and write your code after this line. So for example, I'll write here Karel.move, okay? And then, in order to execute your code, you'll want to get the path for this HTML. So that would be copy path. And then you'll paste that in your browser. Okay, just like this. And now you can see that this code should be executing. Maybe I did not save the JavaScript. Yes, okay. So it's important that after you write in your JavaScript file, you save. For example, here in my editor, you can see that there's this white dot here that shows that I did not save the code. So I'm going to save that code. And then when I reload the page, you can see that Karel moves 1. So those are the 3 ways that you can use our Karel program. This is the baseline program with no instructions or no pre-made code, so we don't make Karel do anything specific, but we'll also have a few options on our GitHub with some kind of pre-made challenges where you can check up the final code and try coding things yourself. I hope you found this video informative, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.